line. You know, I'd like to talk about my son's case because my son was murdered in a terrorist attack in 1994, and the murderer of my son used, as Karen had mentioned, the insanity defense and PTSD. And he said, and my son was an Orthodox Jew, and he was identifiable as Jewish. And the part of the insanity defense was the fact that he had PTSD, and when they were crossing, he was crossing the bridge, and he saw the boys. My son was with a group of other students, and he saw the boys in the van, so he saw them as Israeli soldiers.
So
and
he had like a flashback.
And he had he used that. He said that it flashback to the Lebanon War in his days of, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Interestingly enough, the trial lasted well over 6 weeks, and the defense went on for, I would say that using that defense and that all the testimony, etc. They must have spent at least 3 to 4 weeks only on the PTSD and all that, and they had experts, and it cost our government a tremendous, because it's, of course, the state is the one that, it's not me against versus the Rashid Bazan. It was the state of New York versus Rashid Bazan. And they spent, I mean, the amounts of money that they had to use. They brought in experts. Experts in the United States of America were used in the case. And what was interesting was how everything you just said was brought up. And there are books, there are very significant, there's a lot of reading material and writing material that is used in it. But the abuses that are used in it. But interestingly enough, that posed the case in the jury deliberations after the case. So they talked to the jury, and the jury had said, they said it was a crock of shit.
Okay, well,
they didn't believe either one, but it didn't matter. But what if they would have bought into it? Imagine that. So that is frightening.
But again, that's a legal situation. I mean, we've seen people get off because they have the money and they have the lawyers. I have someone in mind that got off of killing his wife and walked away from that. And yet, it does the opposite also. That's why I brought up Andrea Yates. That woman was clearly psychotic, and her husband and her doctor should have been in prison because they took her off the medication and they kept her alone with her children. So again,
knowing full well that she was ill.
Because it is a slippery.
Let's talk a little bit about what just happened, and as fate would have it, we have this whole Fort Hood incident that's happened. All right, we have a major